And then a big block by Nesbitt of Park Tudor on a Colin Welp wide-open layup to send it into overtime, tied at 37, and Forest Park will control the tap.
How about the job Nathan Brom did on Yogi Farrell? Held his ground, didn't foul, didn't go for the block, did a nice job to make it a difficult shot at the end.
Yeah, they couldn't put Welp on him because he has 4 fouls.
That's a great job of defending on the part of Nathan Brom, who's played awfully, awfully well in this ball game.
Farrell's at the top of that zone, and they expect him to rotate around on Brom. It's between he and J.B. Rapp to make sure he doesn't get off a good look. He scored 15 all from beyond the arc. They make the pass into the elbow. For some reason, a high lob doesn't give Welp any room to get rid of the ball.
Well, I just think he kind of got caught in the middle there and wanted to get it to a teammate.
Again, they've held the basketball for almost a minute. Not too many games going to overtime and may end up in the low 40s.
No, but, again, the strategy in the second half was come out, take the best shot we have. Don't hurry. Don't get in a hurry. Slow down their transition game. And basically what you do, one of the reasons why Yogi Farrell's been negated is Park Tudor hasn't seen the ball much in the second half.
Now they've switched, put Welp top of the circle, and they've moved Brom to the left wing.
Yeah, because you have him spotted on reversal. You'll have a cleaner look on the reversal from the top.
2.5. Welp left wing. Swings it to Brom, now gets it back. They'll work the right side. Wilgus, Brom, and Welp playing pitch and catch around the perimeter. They've held it for a minute and a half now, almost 2 minutes. Tied at 37.
The discipline it takes to not step up there and put it on the deck and try to create or take a shot.
Really doing a nice job backside of that zone, stepping out on Brom. They know where he is now.
They may just, you know what, Mark? They may hang in and take the only shot of the overtime.
Well, certainly nothing wrong with that school of thought if that's what Park Tudor is going to allow you to do. They've held it now the entire overtime as we approach a minute and a half to play in the game. Clock at a minute 40. They control the opening tip.
But the other thing you know is that Park Tudor is not, let me tell you, they're not coming out of the zone. This is what they do. It's their base defense. They get different looks, but they will not come out of it.
But Rapp and Farrell are stepping out just enough to keep the offense from getting any good looks.
Yeah. And the thing you don't want to do is go out and try to trap and vacate the basket. You want to keep your numbers. You want to keep matched up with people. You want to keep them in your sight.
They have held the ball for 3 minutes now. J.B. Rapp steps out, gets rid of it. Nesbitt.
Look at this.
And a ball stolen away by Nesbitt.
Now what do you do?
A little too careless with a pass.
You run it down.
Into the hands of
Want
Yogi
to roll
Farrell.
the dice, run it down, let Yogi handle it.
Ed Schilling says, let's run some offense. Farrell off the screen, drives, gets fouled. Before they're in the bonus.
Same thing.
45 seconds left, and Park Tudor will inbound it. They'll do so to Yogi Farrell.
Man, oh man.
Again, Farrell hasn't scored this half and in the overtime. He had 19 at the intermission.
Well, don't make mistakes.
He leaves his feet, the kick in the corner to Rapp. Now to Farrell. He thought about lifting.
Well, you got to get it back into it. And they're going to just wind it down and take the shot.
Under a minute to
and
play.
it'll be Yogi.
They're going to try to clear out for him. They want to
He's got to watch the 5 second. You need to step out.
Nesbitt thought about screening for him.
Timeout.
Schilling wants a timeout, a 30-second timeout. Finally gets the call with 12.6 seconds left. And we told Nesbitt and Getty right at the break of the huddle, make sure you get to the glass. Farrell with a basketball.
And I see, so instead of screen.
Crossover, no spot up for three. No. Rebound fought for. All kinds of shirts around the bucket. Putting it up at the buzzer is Rapp. No. Rebound comes down and we'll have to play another one.
Off the tip. And if they can't throw it up to save their lives, can't really get control of the ball game.
Ball loose on the floor, scramble for it. Well,
possession error.
Timeout.
Now you look at, they've created another open spot for Park Tudor, and Welp just times it perfectly. This is a big, big play.
Brom with the basketball, walks it across the timeline. Double overtime, tied at 37. Three-pointer, no, off the back of the iron. Rebound, Skies for it. Does Nesbitt, he'll go to the other end. Wilgus with his third personal foul as Rapp Good. He has 10 off the missed three-pointer by Nathan Brum.
Now, things have changed a little bit. We talked about that possession. Now, if you're Forest Park, no need to hurry. Stay within the framework of what you've been doing.
Welp started to drive to the elbow. The zone collapsed on him, and he had to get rid of it before he fell to the floor.
Just take your time and continue to move the ball, move bodies. Certainly you're down 2, but you don't have to come up and take the first shot that's there.
Welp, the kick, and the 3.
Boom.
Yeah. How about that? This time they go to Kyle Wilgus, so now that gives somebody else for Park Tudor to think about. Farrell, stop and go, dribble left side, kicks it out. J.B. Rapp open for 3, can't answer, all white shirts underneath. Farrell steps in, commits the foul.
And now the great defense, J.B. Rapp wide open, doesn't knock it down. Things have changed again. Now it's a 1-point advantage. Now you got to make some decisions if you're Park Tudor. You can't allow them to just pass it around.
Third foul on Yogi Farrell, just the 15th foul. There's 16 foul on Forest Park, so one more puts Park Tudor in the bonus.
There's a lot of time to hold this basketball.
Boy, I thought Wilgus was going to the hole. It opened up when he crossed the lane. Now they go to Grant Welp, open for 15. He was too wide open. Ball tapped out long, and it's hauled in by Forest Park. They'll get another look at it with 2.5 to play.
Boy, Forest Park just do a great job.
And there's a bump on J.B. Rapp.
Long rebounds, Mark. Sometimes, you're in that zone. We've talked about it before. And if you put Grant Welp right there in that middle, that puts so much pressure on Forest Park because he's so good at making decisions. He can pass it. He can take it to the rim. You got a great player in the middle of the floor going to get the ball.
I'll tell you what, Getty's using plenty of hands defensively on him, no doubt about that. Last possession, he was open for 15, and I think it shocked him. He was so wide open, and he short-armed the shot a little bit.
You're right.
He gets it. He'll drive, pull up from 6, get that one to fall. They found a weak spot in that zone, no doubt about that. 7 for Grant Welp. 3-point lead for Forest Park with 1:40. Yogi, strong move to the bucket, throws it up. Count it on! That is a highlight-type finish.
Oh, my. How did that go in? Wait a minute. Oh, my goodness. How did that get in?
First points since the second quarter for Yogi Farrell, and boy, were they big ones. He has 22 to tie it up now, and all that momentum Forest Park had evaporated, and we're back tied at 42 with 1:30 to play.
What a tremendous play. All right, we've seen this one before, haven't we? You're going to hold it. Absolutely. Run it down. Make a decision. Neither one in a big hurry, and why would you be? I hate this cliche, but I'll throw it out anyway. This is truly one of those where you don't want to see somebody lose because both teams deserve to win.
Right.
And again, you got Welp in the post. And because the guards are out too high, they've got to decide whether they've got to either pack it back in. Once they get into that position where Forest Park wants to score, if Park Tudor extends the court like they have, they've just opened up some things for this Forest Park team.
Getting just threw Welp to the floor.
Absolutely threw him to the floor.
And no call.
Well, they haven't called it all day, so why would they call it now?
And as you mentioned, in tight ball games toward the end, guys have a tendency to swallow it.
That's not inadvertent contact. I'm sorry.
A half a minute to play, tied at 42. Forest Park with a basketball. Brom, Wilgus, Welp, out high.
Now watch, you got to watch for Welp to roll back in the post and then try to look for him to attack off the dribble and find a shooter. We're coming down to the last shot.
14 seconds. Down to 12, down to 10. They might want to start the offense. Brom with a basketball.
They're
down
looking
to
for
6.
Welp. They can't get him.
They'll rotate it around to Wilgus. Wilgus comes
Block.
to Welp. Welp has the shot blocked. Ball loose on the floor, and guess what? We're going to need another one to decide it.